Today we're going to explore how you can completely get rid of menstrual cramps and never experience them again. If you're someone who struggles with painful periods, you'll be really glad you watched this whole video, because I'm not only going to share a remedy, but one that addresses the real root cause so you can stop cramps from coming back and do it without any negative side effects. So, what exactly are menstrual cramps? They're simply painful menstrual cycles, and there are two main types. The first is called primary dysmenorrhea, which means the cause is unknown. The second type is secondary dysmenorrhea, which happens because of another issue like fibroids, ovarian cysts, or endometriosis, a condition where tissue that normally grows inside the uterus starts growing around other organs in the lower abdomen. Most women who experience these painful periods usually rely on painkillers, NSAIDs, birth control pills, or synthetic hormones like depot shots to manage the pain. But the real problem is these treatments only cover up symptoms and often bring unwanted side effects that what's rarely talked about, even in medical discussions, is the true root cause of menstrual cramps. The reason is that mainstream medicine works on consensus, group agreement that can often be biased and influenced by certain industries. When you try searching online, even on Google or AI tools, you'll mostly find surface-level answers. But after studying this topic deeply and connecting many clues, I discovered something very interesting. For example, on Wikipedia's page for alternative medicine, they mention that there's insufficient evidence to recommend natural remedies like melatonin, vitamin E, fennel, dill, chamomile, cinnamon, rhubarb, or guava for menstrual pain, claiming that their safety isn't proven. Yet, there's little mention of how unsafe drugs can be in comparison. It's ironic, because the evidence for natural treatments is often ignored, even though studies do exist. For instance, a 2019 study found that fenugreek and certain herbal blends can safely and effectively reduce cramps. Other research showed that vitamin B1, thiamine, and vitamin E significantly help reduce pain. In one large trial in India involving over 500 young women, those who took 100 milligrams of vitamin B1 daily for 1 to 3 months experienced major relief. Researchers try to downplay the results by saying it might only work for Indian women, but the results were still very impressive. Another study also showed that vitamin E reduces cramps, which makes sense once you understand how it helps control inflammation. Some studies mention fish oil and vitamin B12, though the results there are mixed. There's also promising research supporting Chinese herbal medicine for primary dysmenorrhea. When you start connecting all these dots, you'll notice something interesting. Every clue points to one deeper cause. Point 1. Prostaglandins, pain chemicals responsible for uterine contractions, are elevated during cramps. Point 2. Vasopressin, another hormone, increases muscle constriction and reduces blood flow. Point 3. High parathyroid hormone levels can trigger excessive calcium in the blood, leading to stronger muscle spasms. Point 4. And lastly, inflammation, marked by something called NF-kappa B, rises inside the uterus, worsening the pain. Here's where it all comes together. All these problems have one thing in common. Back-end index pointing right, severe vitamin D deficiency. Vitamin D naturally reduces prostaglandins, suppresses vasopressin, balances calcium, lowers parathyroid hormone, and calms inflammation. In other words, low vitamin D is the root cause of painful cramps. People with darker skin, like many black women, are more likely to be deficient because melanin blocks sunlight absorption, leading not only to more cramps, but also higher rates of fibroids and endometriosis. Research even shows that to shrink fibroids or cysts, vitamin D blood levels must reach above 90 nanograms per milliliter, much higher than what most people maintain. Vitamin D also works closely with magnesium, a natural calcium channel blocker that relaxes muscles and reduces spasms. Without vitamin D, magnesium can't function properly, and vice versa. So the most powerful combination to prevent cramps is vitamin D3 plus magnesium, without extra calcium. Along with these nutrients, other proven steps include following a low-carb or ketogenic diet to improve insulin sensitivity, which helps your body absorb vitamin D better, doing intermittent fasting to further enhance absorption, adding cod liver oil, which works as effectively as ibuprofen but without side effects, getting enough vitamin E from leafy greens and tocotrienol supplements. Using nutritional yeast for vitamin B1 and other B vitamins. Eating red meat for natural iron and zinc. Exercising regularly. Trying fenugreek, heating pads, or ginger. All proven in studies to ease cramps naturally. In short, painful menstrual cramps are not random or mysterious. They're your body's way of signaling a severe vitamin D and magnesium deficiency. Fix that, and you address the problem at its root, not just the symptoms.